because you cannot learn on YouTube. There is a person who knows makeup, who's doing that makeup on their own face, and so they are not teaching you technique. Make sure you love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to do it well, because you're always going to be miserable at it. If you lay out a good makeup table, half your work is done. The client already sitting in your chair is already so impressed with you. So you don't have to do the rest, you just then do your work. But I wanted to do prosthetics because I saw a Hindi film and I saw the blood coming out of the mouth and it was like ketchup. And I'm thinking, oh my God, why is it looking like ketchup? Why is it looking orange? You know, I was like and I said, oh, I have to go and learn.
Hi everyone, this is Roshni Sehgal, and today with us we have Miss Yasmin Rodgers and Indian Institute of Creative Skills. So today we are going to learn more about prosthetic and makeup industry. We have learned a lot from Yasmin Rodgers ma'am through her lot of classes, through her sessions and workshop earlier. So hi ma'am.
Hi.
So how did you like the facility at Indian Institute of Creative Skills?
I must say that I was really, really very impressed because it's like on an international level. And like I've been to London and I've been to many places. I trained myself there, so I know that every or like exactly the way I thought that I would see the room, the way the the rooms have been made. Very impressive and very international. It's totally at an international level, so I really loved it.
Thank you so much. So, ma'am, I think every viewer would like to know how have been your journey so far? What inspired you to be in this industry?
Well, I had a brother, Sylvie, who is a top celebrity hairstylist and known very well all over, especially in Delhi. So he is the one who forced me into getting into the industry, like getting into this profession. He taught me how to do hair in the parlor, because we had a big parlor, and he said, you must come and learn. So I didn't know whether I really wanted to do it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, okay, because I was young and I had nothing else to do. So I said, okay, let's do it. And when I was doing hair and he was teaching me makeup side by side, I realized I liked makeup better. So once I saw I liked makeup, then I kind of it just took off. So I learned hair by default and then makeup. So it was interesting. And then I used to go on fashion shows and do thing. And of course, I got lucky because Sylvie, being Sylvie, kind of got me jobs easily in the beginning. But of course, I had to prove that I was good at what I do. Otherwise, no one would have given me work. But that's how I started.
So we have seen a lot of candidates or maybe aspirant from the industry learning through YouTube videos or through online sessions. So what's your take on this?
The first thing I tell students or even my assistants who come and help me, on my sets is they say, ma'am, we have learned. We know makeup. So I said, yeah, really? Wow, very good, very good. So I hope that they're going to come up with a school or someone's name. And then they say, I said, where did you learn? I'm very excited to know where they learned. And then they say, on YouTube. So that makes me really, really upset, because you cannot learn on YouTube. There is a person who knows makeup, who's doing that makeup on their own face, and so they are not teaching you technique.
It has to be hands-on.
Yeah,
training.
and there are so many different levels to knowing makeup. Can't learn it from YouTube.
Exactly.
So definitely I would say it's a no-no. Please don't learn on YouTube. It would be silly, because you are not learning it the proper way, and you're not learning it correctly.
Even there are a lot of candidates who even come to Media Entertainment Skills Council. So they ask us, ma'am, we learned through YouTube videos, through this makeup artist and very well known artist. There is no doubt about it. What they are teaching is wrong. But what that candidate is grabbing out of that video, if they are learning those techniques really well, we are not sure about it.
Correct.
So what's your take on the idea of getting skills certification that MESC is anyway providing, that Indian Institute of Creative Skills is providing? So what's your thought on being into formal education for this industry?
For any skill, any profession, you should always be trained properly. Otherwise, whether you want to be an actor, whether you want to be a singer, whether you want to be a dancer, whether you want to be a makeup artist, if you don't train yourself properly, it is never going to. And I always tell them one thing, that make sure you love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to do it well, because you're always going to be miserable at it. So once you train yourself in that profession, creativity comes afterwards. What is within you will come out finally. But if you know the techniques and the technical skill to do it, then your creativity gets built up even more. So it's very important for any profession. Please be trained, and please come to Indian Institute of Creative Skills, because now there is such a wide range of things that they're offering. It's amazing, and it's very important that we have like more places like this.
So could you also highlight some techniques that student would be learning if they'll be learning at this place at ISCS and
Yes.
our campus, or maybe some other campus if not in Delhi? So we are
Yeah.
opening even 10 more campuses in India.
Yes.
And what all that they can learn out of this makeup and prosthetic course?
See, the main thing about coming and learning from an institute like this is, one is definitely you're going to get proper formal training. You are going to be trained right from the scratch, means you'll start right from the beginning, and then they'll take you to the levels that you are capable of doing or you want to do. So, and then the most important thing is we give you on set training, whether it's whatever. I'll talk about makeup because that's what I'm the mentor for. So we will make sure you get on, because I've seen one thing in a lot of institutes, they're teaching them makeup and hair.
Right.
And I have hired a lot of them, but when they come to me, they don't know anything.
That's so
Like
true.
nothing they know. So it's simple thing of how to talk to a client, whether she's a bride, whether it's an actor, whether it's like a friend, anyone, someone who is sitting in your chair. How to talk to that person. Forget about the makeup skills that you're good at. You know your makeup. You've learnt it. You learned everything. But if you're going to yell and scream at a client, they will not sit in your chair. They will get up and leave.
Exactly.
So it's about how you treat them. So you're going to learn those things. It's not only about
soft
yes,
skills.
soft skills are very important. How to treat a client, how to lay out a table to make sure that the client is impressed with what you have in front, the makeup, what brands you're using, what kind of, it has to be clean and neat. These are little things that make all the difference, because I always tell them, if you lay out a good makeup table, half your work is done. The client already sitting in your chair is already so impressed with you. So you don't have to do the rest, you just then do your work.
That's right. So in fact, this concern that you highlighted, that student comes to you but they are not trained as per what you are requiring. Even at MESC, we work as a bridge between industry and academy, where we take care of bridging the skill gap that we
Correct.
have in the country.
Yes.
So a lot of industry people, they come to us, big organization, they come to us asking, we do require candidates, they could be fresher, but they are not up to the mark what industry is demanding.
Correct.
So that's how we, why we got into the picture. Now Indian Institute of Creative Skills is there,
Yes.
teaching candidates as per what industry is demanding.
Yes.
And I'm sure for this makeup and prosthetics course, students will be learning a lot what industry is demanding,
Yes.
requiring out of
Definitely.
what is going on as per
Yes.
trend.
Yes.
So, ma'am, I would like to ask you another question. I think viewers would also like to know some fun facts or maybe some quick tips that you would maybe like to share with our candidates.
Yeah.
So, I do have some question. So, what's your go-to tip for making makeup last through all day long during shoots or any fashion show?
Yeah. The thing is that, if you, it's a very simple thing and it's not difficult. We have a cloth called malmal.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It is very sasta. So it's not that you can't afford to keep it in your purse.
Right.
And especially in the heat. So what we do is we kind of put that malmal into ice.
Okay.
Or into the fridge, if you're doing it at home, put it, let it get really chilled. Okay? And I mean, it doesn't have to be wet, but it just gets frozen. So it's really,
Alright.
yeah. And always, after your makeup is done, if you just press it down on your face,
All right.
because
That's a
it
tip.
will
Okay.
actually keep your makeup lasting longer, but it should not be wet. So be careful. If it's wet, then you're going to take off the makeup. So just make sure it's just frozen, okay? And then that kind of keeps the makeup lasting. And also, if you put ice on your skin before you start makeup,
So a
it
lot of even
helps.
actresses, I've seen their videos dipping their face in ice.
Yes,
That
yeah, but that's
yeah.
because that will help the skin. What happens is the pores close. There's a scientific thing to it. Your pores close, so then your makeup doesn't your skin doesn't eat the
absorb
makeup. Yeah.
absorb it.
Yes.
Wow. No,
That's
that's
the
a
reason.
wonderful
Yeah.
tip. I'm going to apply it on I think during my makeup. If you could carry only one toolkit in your kit, what would it be?
One makeup thing, right?
One makeup thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've seen like nowadays girls want to carry everything in their
That's
their bag.
right, even I
And that's
carry.
very difficult. So sometimes when you have to just carry a very small purse because it's kind of you can't carry a big one.
Yes.
I tell them always nowadays you get these very amazing lip tints.
Right.
Lip
It's
balms
available everywhere.
with a tint.
Right.
So that's really interesting because when you do your makeup and you go, and when your makeup's fading, you just have to use that same lip tint on your cheeks, on your eyes as eyeshadow, and on your lips. So it's done all the three jobs, brightened up your face, and no one's going to know any better. So just a lip tint, like a lip balm. That not a lip tint because lip tints are different, guys. A lip balm with a tint, and also it gives you a nice glow.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think first I'm going to apply these tips on myself. So there's another question that's coming to my mind. Like I'm sitting in front of you, having done a lot of makeup on myself. Now I'm curious. If you have to, pinpoint one thing about my makeup. I mean, you could think of, keeping in mind my face
Yes,
structure.
yes.
What one aspect for this makeup look that you would like to maybe highlight upon?
Yeah.
That this could be
See, I'll
done
tell
better,
you.
or this is
I'll tell you one
better.
thing.
Yeah.
What is really important, especially nowadays, also everyone has started, is your eyebrows.
Yes,
because when
that's
one looks at a face, the first thing you see is eyebrows, because that's what we have. That is most visible on the face.
Absolutely.
For men, it's their facial hair and their eyebrows, but for women, it's always only their eyebrows. So what is really important, I'm going to give a very small tip to that, is if you have a longer nose, your eyebrows should be more parted. The gap between both the eyebrows should be wider.
Okay.
And if you have a shorter nose, your eyebrows should be closer. This is creating an illusion. This is even if you're making your eyebrows, you don't have to have those kind of, you can make your eyebrows. So this tip will really, really help your face to look much better.
So where do you see the field of makeup and prosthetic industry heading forward?
That's a very interesting question you asked me, because when I learned prosthetics and I learned it in 2000, but and I came back to India, no one was using prosthetics at that time.
That's
In
so
India,
true.
too, they did not even know what it was all
Right,
about.
right.
There were, of course, the get-up makeup dadas we had, and they were doing get-up. So it was mostly with wigs and beards and, those kind of get-ups. Ball caps, of course, is a
Right.
age-old thing, and everyone knows how to do a ball cap. So that much is what they knew was prosthetics. And, of course, luckily for people like me who trained, and now there's Preeti Sheel, and there's a whole lot of other people.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners came in, did it, and went away. So because of that, suddenly the awareness is very high.
Yeah.
So luckily for us, now prosthetics has become really, really important, because they have realized that it's very important to make those looks look real. Like I remember I wanted to do prosthetics because I saw a Hindi film, and I saw the blood coming out of the mouth, and it was like ketchup. And I'm thinking, oh my God, why is it looking like ketchup? Why is it looking orange? I was like, so, and I said, oh, I have to go and learn. So this was my inspiration to go and learn how to do prosthetics. So now, luckily for us, everyone is very aware of prosthetics. Actors are very open to doing prosthetics. They all want to do some changes or the other. And down south, they're using it a lot. So that's great. Like, this is the best time for prosthetics. And
Right.
SFX makeup.
SFX.
Yeah.
So when it comes to prosthetics and SFX, how do they go along together?
SFX makeup is part of prosthetics.
Okay.
Okay,
all right.
SFX means quick effects.
All right.
It's quick effects. Now there's SFX also. When you see a bomb blasting,
Yes.
and those are SFX for the on set.
Okay.
Okay, but there is SFX makeup. So it's kind of two SFX.
All right.
Okay, so SFX makeup is again quick effects. That's also a quick effect, but that's for a bomb blast or a glass shattering, those kind of things. But our SFX is makeup. So it's about quick wounds, like, cuts and all that. And prosthetics then becomes the bigger things, making old person, making a slit head, making a big body lying dead or a burnt body. So
Right,
those kind of things, yeah.
So even when you said awareness is there, even we agree awareness is there, but not lot of students are coming forward to join prosthetics as a course. So what tip would you like to give to candidate community that this industry is not really scary, because they usually think that this I can learn makeup, I can learn maybe body art and a lot of other technique,
yeah.
but prosthetics, because it's expensive. So do you have any tip, ma'am, if you could
No,
give
to be honest, yes, the makeup material for prosthetics is very expensive.
Okay,
It is because the problem is we still don't get most of the material in India still. So it is imported, and because it's imported, of course, the costs get higher. But there are other ways to do it as well. So it's like if we want to make a burn on a face, there is also a very simple way to do it, which is just using latex.
All right.
Latex is available everywhere, and cotton.
All right.
Latex and cotton, or latex and tissue. So we teach them that also. When we teach our students, we teach them that these are the cheaper products. You can use this also. And then you can go to the more expensive products like silicone and all that. So we teach them both, because you don't have to only use expensive products.
So if a candidate actually has passion that they want to learn prosthetic, they can definitely join prosthetic course. It's not expensive. There are a lot of
Other ways
alternates
to do it, of course.
And yes, so this is really informative for all the candidates who are looking forward to join
definitely
such
we
course.
teach them to use first cheaper products and then go to the expensive. I always like, because we are makeup people and we get sometimes tired, and then especially when you're working every day for 14 hours,
Right.
then some days we forget to take something on set, and that will be the day the director will ask for that only. So we learn the art of cheating. It's called cheating. So we know that, okay, I can use this product to make this. So I also teach this to my students, by the way. You have to learn that if I don't have this, what can I use to make it look like that? You
Okay.
understand?
Wow.
So like I said, that lip tint, I
Lip tint.
actually learnt it on set, that I could do this, because
Okay.
I never had anything else, and suddenly they wanted a red color, and I did not have red on that day, because that day was supposed to be my prosthetic day. But suddenly one girl came and they said, no, please give a red lipstick, give a red something. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, I haven't got my makeup, I'm thinking what to do now. But I can't tell the director that, because he's going to kill me. So I had this red lip tint, luckily, and I just used it, and the shoot went off very well. So the same
Amazing.
thing we can do
So-
in prosthetics also. We do a lot of cheating.
So thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
And thanks for your time. And we had
It was a pleasure, and I've totally enjoyed this.